Let me show you what's left in the winter garden. Hi, welcome to Daddy Kerb's farm. This winter garden this year has been amazing. I grew beets and kohlrabi and carrots and sugar snap peas, a number of things. Let me show you what's left before I harvest everything for this next season. Some of what's in the garden I planted and some of it nature planted. For example, here I have the blue bonnets. I think they're beautiful. That's actually the Texas flower, the state flower. So I like to see those come up. And they are nitrogen fixing plants, so I don't mind those roots being in the ground, providing some nitrogen to my other plants. Now the beets, I had a whole row of beets here, and they were pretty densely packed. So what I did throughout the season was I would thin them, and I would use the greens as salad greens, and then that would allow room for some of the other beets to get larger. For example, let me harvest one right now. Now those aren't monstrous beets. I've seen some much bigger, but that's a good eating size beet. How I've been eating them this year are in stews, in soups, and also I've learned how to roast them so that I can cut them up cold and use them in salads. I've harvested probably 12 kohlrabi, all nice. Look at this one back here, that's a big one. Now I let that one get kind of lumpy, but the others have been near that size and really nice and smooth. This one's still smooth. I left 3 of them in here because I was hoping at least one would go to seed and I would get some good seed for this next season. So this one right here is actually producing flowers, and this one is starting to. So I think I'm going to get some nice seed off of these this year. Over the last 4 months or so, I've also enjoyed a lot of kale. We had these 2 kale plants, which there's still a lot of leaves on here, but we have harvested a lot of kale. So these plants are looking pretty tattered and they're getting kind of big, and I need this space for other things, so I'm going to take these out. But kale is one of those things that I really love to put in soups and salads. The sugar snap peas are what I call the garden treat. I have rarely harvested sugar snap peas that make it into the house, because I like to come out here, pluck them off, and just eat them right here in the garden. They're sweet and crunchy and a lot of fun for the kids to eat too, and I like to encourage that. This plant is getting older, a little dried out, and it's time for it to produce some seed too. The pods on the bottom that are getting larger and more knobby, bigger seeds, and a little dried out, those are the ones I'm going to save for later. On the back side of this trellis, where I now have some sunflowers coming up, but it's mostly empty space here, that's where I had my carrots this year. They're all gone. I can't show you any of those. I harvested some nice carrots out of here. And this was a nice space because it's more on the northern side of this trellis. Just enough sunlight, but it was also shaded and more cool, and I think the carrots liked that. Back here, you can see I'm growing bull thistle. Well, I didn't plant that. That's an accident, or that's a product of nature. Many people would say, rip it out, burn it, kill it with fire. But I actually like bull thistle. You can eat this. I've never eaten it, but I've read that you can. But what happens with the bull thistle is it has this purple flower that the goldfinch bird loves to come and pick that purple flower apart and eat it. I really like the goldfinch, so I keep the bull thistle for them. That's what's left of the winter garden, and this is the space that should be used pretty soon for something else. You'll see that coming up when I figure it out. Anyway, thank you for joining me. If you would subscribe, like, and leave your comments below, and then share this video with your friends, that would mean a lot to me. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.